Management survey, my leadership style. Yes.
I thought we were supposed to have the minutes before. Guess
They
not.
never really exchanged,
Okay, I think they will.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I had a job once where I didn't know any of the things required to do the job. But they hired me anyway because I had some of the skills that they wanted in their company. And so we agreed that I would take this job and learn how to do it while I was there. So I had this boss at the time, and they were a very good person, and they pointed me in the right direction to learn the skills that I needed to acquire. And I remember my first project. I submitted it to my boss, and I asked, did I do a good job? And they said, yes, this is awesome. You did a great job. And that felt really good. And then I had to present my project to the rest of the team, and I got really bad feedback. I did a bad job. And that shattered my confidence. It made me feel like I couldn't do the job, even though I learned the skills that I needed while I was there so I could do a better job. But because I couldn't get that confidence back, I ended up leaving. And I could blame my boss at the time for their poor leadership style. But really I have to blame myself because I didn't push for the things that I needed so that I could do a good job. When I think about good leaders, I think about several attributes that people have. Good leaders are optimistic. They make people feel inspired to do a good job. Good leaders are open-minded. They listen to everyone, even the most junior level people, because sometimes they have the best ideas. But even if they don't have the best ideas, just listening to them makes them feel empowered. Good leaders are engaging speakers. They have good communication skills. And this gives you the ability to not only talk to people, but to listen to people and to identify problems on a team and talk to your team and communicate with everybody so that those problems don't become disasters. Now, you can apply these leadership skills to any leadership style that you have. If you are a bureaucratic leader, you would be somebody who just has a bunch of rules, says do X, Y, and Z, people do the job, and everybody's happy. And that's okay for more junior level people who need a lot of direction, but it's not really good for senior level people. For them, you want more of an authoritative style. And what that means is you go to them, you say, look, here's our vision, this is what we want, figure out how to get there. And that works for a lot of people who are very self-directed, but it doesn't work for everybody. My leadership style is more of a coaching style. What I like to do is I work with each individual member of a team. I figure out what they're good at and what they need help with, and then I coach them so that they can be the best version of themselves. And this is really compatible with some of the work that I do. I build systems for companies, and I'll tell you about one client. The system that I built for them is a content development system, meaning every month we produce 40 articles. Every article is 1,000 words. That's the equivalent of half a novel that we produce every single month. So what I do is I use a platform called Trello. There are a lot of platforms like this. Basecamp was mentioned before. And I assign everybody tasks in this software. And people go in, they pick their task, they do the job, they check it off, they move it to the next person's column. And this continues for the entire process from concept to publication. Now, this system is really good. Automation is awesome. It gets rid of a lot of overhead that you don't need, and it also makes it so that things don't slip through the cracks. But there's one very important piece that's missing from these automated systems: human interaction. When people log into this software, they don't have somebody telling them what to do. So part of my job is to be a project manager to make sure that things get done. But part of my job is to give people that human interaction that they need, that leadership that they need so that they can feel inspired and engaged and they do their job. Understanding leadership styles and being a good leader and knowing how your leader leads you, these are all important things, especially in this age of automation. If you are a leader, you want to know what your leadership style is so that you can hone your strengths and develop your weaknesses. But if you're being led by somebody else, you want to understand what their leadership style is so that you know what you can expect to get from them and you know what you're not going to get and what you need to figure out for yourself. Understanding leadership styles is good for everybody. It's good for your boss, it's good for your company, it's good for your customers, and most importantly, it's good for you.